Peace, everyone. How you doing? Welcome to the show. Title of this show is Khalil Amani makes his fortune by shitting on his business partners. The evidence examination. We're going to examine the evidence right quick. So let me begin with audio first. Let's get this audio out the way.
Now, here's where it gets uncomfortable, because this isn't just about how Bambata's defenders talked. It's about how the accusers talked too. Everybody borrowed the same broken vocabulary.
Defenders and accusers use the same broken vocabulary because those who are defending is from the Zulu nation and those who are accusing are from the Zulu nation. Allegedly, this street reporter is reporting it and saying it. You can believe it if you want to or not. That's your choice.
Khalil Amani's been vocal on this, and I've used his material in this series because he was close to it. He has context most people don't, but context doesn't mean immunity.
Context do not mean immunity, Khalil. And that's why I tagged you in this show to speak to you, because you keep acting like you want to speak to me. But I did shows today talking about this is not about gay. This is not about bisexual. This is not about homosexuality. So I don't care if you think I'm homophobic or not. I'm not going to sit up here and argue that with no old man that ain't got nothing to talk about. And all he want to do is keep pushing his homosexual position on the community. You need to be pushing your child abuse position, but we know that you have abused that step grandson of yours, and they say you abuse your stepdaughter and all of that. You want to address that because you know your wife that's probably sitting around that house because you off right now is sitting around there listening to you talking that little man cave with yours when you do all your wickedness and stuff and everything else. Am I lying? But you can speak about it if you want to. I'm not stopping you. If you choose to, we'll deal with it. But we're going to keep going.
So before I play what he said, I want to be straight with you about what I think of the framing itself. Let's call it what it is. This sets up three things at once. Why you're using Amani's material at all, that using it is an endorsement, and it pivots you into naming the framing problem before you play his actual words, which protects you legally and editorially if this gets scrutinized later, especially given the Will's lawsuit history. So here's Khalil in his own words.
So let's get to that.
Hey everybody, what's good? It's a Monday afternoon and I feel like dealing with the bullshit. We're going to continue our studies of homosexuality and in religion and in history. African homosexuality is coming up. But my voice is feeling a little tired, so I'm going to do a little quiet video, and I'm not going to be here too long, but I'm feeling like dealing with the bullshit, so let's deal with the bullshit. I'm talking about Israel's struggle doctrine.
See? Now, what is the bullshit, my people? I'm asking y'all. I've been talking about it hasn't been about gay or bisexual or none of that. It's about child abuse. He's trying to turn it back to what he want to talk about. Gay and bisexual and homosexuality and all of that because he a LGBTQIA plus advocate, which is, I would say he's advocating for child abuse in the LGBTQIA plus community. That's why they put the plus for the pedophile and everything else. Like he's been trying to argue and everything, and I killed all that stuff. Let him make a video and say, no, you this and I killed that. And we can argue that if you want to. But you're afraid to even step to the table with that.
You hear it? He never...
About. So, audio again.
You hear it? He never actually gets to the abuse. He gets to the gay part first, every time. That's not an accident. And it's not just Khalil's editorializing. That's the shape the whole story got poured into, going back to how it was first reported.
How it was first reported. That's how he first reported it. Him and DJ K. Slay, that Bambaataa was gay and that he drug-induced, sexually abused the boy. He said it like that, and it's been that way ever since. Nobody will talk about the child abuse.
And that's the through line of this episode, not the same word. Gay is not a synonym for what happened to those kids. When we let it become one, whether we're defending somebody or trying to take them down, we're not protecting anybody. We're just giving people a reason to look away from the actual harm. Khalil Amani's argument functions to obscure the abuse by reframing it as a gay/homophobia dispute. This is a claim about rhetoric and effect, and it's defensible if you can point to specific things he said. Khalil Amani covered up child abuse. This is a factual accusation of specific act concealment against a real named living person that needs to be tied to something concrete he actually did, not just his commentary, or it's a defamation risk for you, especially with the Will slap suit as precedent for how this can come back on you. Khalil Amani said, "I was stalking Layla Wills." Let's sit with that for a second. I didn't stalk anybody. I documented. I reported. I did what I do on this channel. I looked in.
That's what it's all about. I've been trying to say that forever. I do what I do on this channel. Layla Wills attacked me and said me and Kev Gills was down with pedophiles. That's what this whole thing is supposed to be about. From day one, they was down with Africa Bambaataa the pedophile. They called Africa Bambaataa and the Zulu Nation gay and did all that because they were setting it up for the LGBTQIA plus stuff. I don't know why their attorney, Marcy Hamilton, didn't tell them that. That European woman wasn't smart enough to tell y'all trying to make it about the LGBTQIA stuff. I mean, she fought against the Roman Catholic Church. Either she's an ignorant lawyer or not an ignorant lawyer. But she didn't advise y'all. Y'all don't sit around and have advisory councils and all of that stuff on this stuff that's going on in the Black community with the Black and Hispanic youth and everybody else. No, y'all don't do that because y'all sit around and figure out how to put everything in the LGBTQIA plus community.
To a story about an abused child, and I followed the facts where they went. That's not stalking. That's the job. But watch what happens when you call that stalking. You take the person doing the reporting and you make them the problem. You take the attention off the actual abuse and you put it on my conduct instead. That's not an accident.
You put it on my conduct. You will never talk about Layla Wills' conduct based off of your effed up conduct in the beginning, saying it was about gays fake raping people. As a spiritual advisor to the gay community, you are a bad homosexual bishop. Spiritual advisor, whatever you want to call yourself, or however you want to frame that. You are a spiritual advisors, and you telling them to keep doing homosexual stuff to lead them to hell. But I know your God won't take them to hell because your God already trying to put them in hell right here so they can pass over to the next life in the hell. But I understand it.
It's the same move I've been tracing this whole episode. Take the real harm and relabel it as something else. Last segment, it was gay. This time it's stalking. I'm not going to pretend that accusation didn't happen, and I'm not going to pretend it didn't sting, but I'm going to name it for what it is. Deflection. If you can't argue with what I reported, you argue about how I reported it. That's easier than actually answering for a child that got hurt.
That's easy for answering for a child that got hurt. Giovanni is either dead or he alive, meaning he can speak for himself or he can't speak for himself, and y'all don't care about him even being found if he is alive because y'all stand with victims of sexual abuse. Y'all don't deal with the dead of the sexual abuse, the ones that her son took a picture to kill and murder. That's the topic. That's what I'm talking about. Stop trying to deflect and reframe. Now we have some more Khalil Amani audio. Listen to this, because he's going to tell you what I was doing in the beginning. This is in the beginning when me and him was homeboys and all that. But as the title say, he make his fortune on poo-pooing on his business partners. He did it to Yahweh Ben Yahweh. He did it to DJ K Slay, and now he's trying to do it to me. But Yahweh Ben Yahweh is dead. DJ K Slay is dead, and Carl Lavin is still kicking, and he will defend himself. I got dark empathy, or empathy, however you want to say it.
The Khalil Amani Reader. Hip hop, spirituality, free thinking, speaking for all underdogs.
Spirituality. Ain't that the same thing Jabari said to Whack 100? I got non-profits. He got a non-profit, spiritual LGBTQIA plus cult that he run. He's the spiritual Yahweh Ben Yahweh of that cult. A Lucifer, whatever he called himself.
Israel Doctrine, gatekeeper of the Africa Bambaataa narrative, by Khalil Amani. In this internet world of YouTubers, which is filled to the rim with a motley crew of so-called conscious folk of various persuasions, who are constantly at odds with one another. Sides are drawn in the internet sands, and the war of words is more venomous than a cobra's bite. There are no rules of engagement for these YouTube combatants, all sparing love and war. Every great story needs a hero and an anti-hero, a protagonist and an antagonist. Enter Israel Doctrine, and welcome to the Israel Doctrine Show. Who is Israel Doctrine? A YouTuber who has diligently done his homework in the Africa Bambaataa child molestation situation.
Has diligently did his homework, but today he got to try to kill that. He homophobic. He did see that and try to change the conversation and everything because he's working for Satan. His whole job is to sit on that toilet and poop on me because I changed the I'm flossing on you conversation to I'm shitting on niggas. I'm not playing no games and I'm not talking no beautiful talking up. I'm shitting on niggas. That's why he is speaking in symbology, sitting on that toilet with that spray can, making it smell good when he's sitting in there shitting. Or I'm shitting or however you want to do it. Oh, he done took it to dirt. Yes, I'm in the dirt. I'm pulling hair, I'm biting, I'm doing everything by any means necessary. I told you that's my new terminology.
Doctrine is fiercely known for his scathing rebuke of Hassan Poppy Campbell's narrative of the events surrounding the Africa Bambaataa child molestations.
I gave him rebukes of Hassan Campbell 2016 stuff that's telling you I was rebuking what they was putting down in 2016 when I was right there. When I started out, that's what it was about. It wasn't about I was homophobic or none of that. So why you keep taking it there, Khalil, the money? Because you won't try to get your homosexual buddies and stuff to say, look, Carl, keep talking. No, I'm telling them to quit sinning. I'm not telling them nothing else. You can love whoever you want to love. You just can't have sex with them. Same way I just spoke, I had sex with that man's wife that wasn't my wife. That was wrong. I can admit that because I know what wrong is. So stop deflecting and turning stuff because this is all you've been doing for 13 years. Let's debate homosexuality and all that. You could have had me on record saying I hated homosexuals or whatever, but you ain't got no record of me ever saying that. I've been out here endorsing the church dealing with the LGBTQIA stuff. Have I not? I sit up here, do shows tomorrow and go through my library and everything and show it. I have proof because I did the work. Just like you and Ron Savage, y'all, we advocates and this and that. I didn't advocate it on my behalf too, so stop lying on me, nigga.
Israel's barrage of videos on Poppy are merciless, even epic. I don't know if this dude has a job or not, but like that viral video of that white boy who didn't want to fight one day, but the next day he said, I got time today. Israel Doctrine seems to have time today and every day to go at Hassan, as evidenced by his rapid-fire succession of videos on Poppy. Israel Doctrine has many haters and enemies. One YouTuber calls him a gorilla. Other YouTubers get on his case about his lack of reading skills and his 1970s paneling on his walls. Some say he lives with his grandma in his grandmother's basement. Others say his YouTube channel is boring and puts them to sleep. But I submit to you that there's something about that guy's show that makes people tune in and watch. Somewhere along the way, Israel Doctrine and Hassan Poppy Campbell became enemies. So much so that Poppy, on at least 2 occasions, fantasized about exhuming, digging up Israel's deceased mother and violating her corpse by hitting her over the head with a shovel. Now, why he go and say that?
Now, why you go and say that? So, now why you go and say anything about him? I'm not here to argue about homosexuality. Nigga, when I first met you, I asked you to do it. You said you was going to do it. You never did it. You said you were going to debate me first. You went and debated Polite, which is a child abuser, your best friend inside another best friend, and Jeremiah Jewell, who is also your friend until y'all ran them off or whatever. Y'all need to stop what y'all doing. I'm up out of here, man, before I say the wrong thing and get emotional and stuff, because this stuff is very emotional. Niggas out here lying on you and BSing and you this and that and trying to get a whole homosexual section of YouTube or the world to come against you and all of that. Nah, you go set them against Hassan Campbell, because he the one said the stuff that he said, just like all the rest of y'all that brought allegations or was defending them, that it was about gay. It was never about gay. It was about the abuse of children, nigga. But you don't give a fuck about them children or nobody children. I know. Now, make the argument that I don't care about children. I did something to children. Leak you, go ahead. There go your play card right there. Play that. And I'm going to beat that shit up in these streets just like I beat all the rest of that shit that y'all keep lying on me about, because y'all don't want to deal with that damn child that her son took a picture, the murder, and probably the murder. Because you ain't came out not one time since this whole shit didn't happen. Here you said one word, meaning her son accomplished his mission. Take him out so he wouldn't come out here and speak. It speaks for itself. I'm up out of here. I don't give a damn what you do. Leave a comment or whatever. Comment back though, Khalil.